Hello everyone and welcome back to Wonderkids Head-to-Head here on Anderzbaz FM, the series where we take two Wonderkids from Football Manager 2022 who play in the same position and compare their careers after a 10-season simulation. Now in today's episode we take wingbacks Alphonso, Davies and Josko Gvardiol and see who will be the better player over the longer term. First, we will take a look at Alphonso Davies, the young Canadian left-back who plays domestically for Bayern Munich, an incredible attacking fullback in the German-sized defence at just age 20. Now, the young Croatian Gvardiol is slightly younger by comparison, but also starts out by plying his trade in the Bundesliga with RB Leipzig. Now, our first port of call is to compare the two players at the start of the game, which, for completeness, we are running after the winter update using the 22.3 database. Whilst both players are left back, it is clear that they have an entirely different skill set. Davies, on the one hand, is an incredibly fast and much more of an attacking threat, as shown by his ability to also be deployed further forward on the left-hand side of the pitch, should it be required. Gvardiol, however, is much more defensively sound. He's better in the air and has a slight edge on the mental side of the game as well, and he can be deployed as a centre-back just as successfully as he can on the left-hand side of a back four. Now, as expected on an attribute-by-attribute basis, the story is the same. Davies shines going forward with his delivery of the ball as well, whilst Gvardiol is much more capable defensively and in the air, his heading a particular point of note. Now, overall, there's very little that I can choose between the pair, and I'm unable to decide ahead of time who I think will have the better career. I feel that ultimately it will come down to the systems that are played in and whether or not they are set up to play to their respective strengths. Now, let's see how this comparison looks in 10 seasons' time. But whilst we are simulating forward, I'd just like to take this opportunity to say thank you for watching this video. And if you're enjoying this series, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And I'd also like to take a little second here to thank our friends over at Passion4 FM, who have a fantastic database of Wonderkids that has helped compile these videos that I'd highly recommend casting an eye over. They've got a shortlist set up as well with the new 22.3 database after the winter update, the link for which can be found in the description. Okay then, here we are, 10 seasons into the future, and we'll start once again by looking at Alphonso Davies. Now, the Canadian has spent his whole career with Bayern Munich and has amassed an incredible 120 caps for his country. He still looks to have incredible pace 10 years on, whilst the rest of his game looks to have rounded out reasonably well. Gvardiol now finds himself at Barcelona and has had an impressive international run as well with 96 caps for Croatia. It looks like from his media description, however, that he's been deployed as a centre-back more often than as a left-back, or at least more successfully. If we move to our comparison page, both players have certainly improved at an impressive rate, but we still find that Davies is much more of a threat going forward with that pace, whilst Gvardiol is the more rounded defender, and it is little surprise that he has found success as a centre-back as well if you look at his polygon. In terms of who is a better player at this point in their careers, I think it entirely depends on what you are expecting from your left-back as to who I would recommend. The attribute comparison continues the familiar story by now, but suggests that Gvardiol has perhaps edged development on the mental side of his game to ever so slightly be, quote-unquote, the better player overall. If we take a look at their career history, it shows that Davies has been an incredible stalwart for Bayern Munich, playing nearly every Bundesliga game over the 10-season span, with his level of performance never letting up. His first campaign of the simulation was his weakest, but it was far from weak, with a 7.00 average rating, and he continues to put in the performances throughout the full 10-year span. In terms of honours, there is no great surprise to see a complete set of 10 Bundesliga titles in his cabinet, alongside 2 Champions League titles, with a further 3 runners-up medals, and a World Club Cup trophy as well. Personally, Davies has won the CONCACAF Player of the Year award on a number of occasions and has featured in every team of the season and best 11 that he could possibly have featured in over this simulation. If we move over to Josko Gvardiol now, we can see that he has had an incredible 3-season run with Leipzig before moving over after his best campaign to Barcelona for perhaps a bargain price of £63 million. Whilst in Spain, his performance levels have never dropped, and he can be considered absolutely the equal of Davies over the 10-season stretch on a performance-wise, but really, how does his trophy cabinet compare? Whilst at Barcelona, Gvardiol is a 4-time winner of La Liga and most recently a winner of the Europa League as well, but it's clear to see that the Spanish side are not the equivalent of the German powerhouses and do not hold that domination over their domestic rivals, and it's followed through on the continental stage as well without managing to get themselves into the Champions League final either. On a personal level, it's quite a similar story. Gvardiol appears in a number of best 11s, but he's missing any major accolades that, at this stage, would give him the edge over his rival. Now, overall, there is very little between them, but I think I have to just about give the edge to Davies here, no doubt helped by his tenure with Bayern, but he is clearly an incredibly important cog in that machine. This is not a knock on Gvardiol at all, and the career he has carved himself has been honestly incredible. Now, both would be fantastic additions to any side around the world, whether this is at the beginning of the game or 10 years in the future. But I have to give the edge to Davies in this head-to-head comparison today. So, there we have it. This Wonderkid head-to-head is complete. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below and let me know if things have developed differently in your own game. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Well, hey, you've made it to the end of the video and... Hang on, It's a subscribe button. Tap on this. Even if you've done it already, just try it. See what happens. And then if you're hanging around, have a look. Have a look at these. One of these. Check out some of this amazing content. You won't regret it. I'll see you next time.